Imagine this. You're walking along, humming to yourself, minding your own business, and all of a sudden you stumble upon a box. It's weathered and worn, the leather surface scratched and cracked, and the corners are misshapen. This box has been through a lot. You think about moving on. Normally you would, but the lock on the front of the box catches your attention. How is it so shiny, you wonder, so you stay. You bend down to investigate, running your fingers over the top of the box and over the lock. You're curious. You have questions. You wonder whose box it is, how it got here, what's in it. Maybe it's not locked, you tell yourself. So you try the top, but sure enough, it's locked. You turn to walk away. After all, what good can come from an abandoned box? But suddenly, a light flickers. Your eyes follow it, and what do you see? It's a key beside the box. It's peculiar looking, like no key you've seen before. In some places, the key has pointed edges, but in others, sort of flowy ripples. It looks like it's made of metal. However, as you pick it up, the key is light as air, and yet solid as stone, and it sparkles like a jewel. You're sure you've never seen a key like this before. You can't believe your chances. A locked box and the key right next to it. Is this too good to be true? You breathe deeply, glancing over your left shoulder and then your right. You want to make sure no one's watching in case this is a joke. But once you decide that you're alone, you place your finger on the key and turn it in the lock. What do you find? The key fits. You grasp the key with your sweaty fingers and turn again. You hear the click on the lock. It works. Now your heart is beating like a drum, quick and hard. And your mouth, it's dry as a desert. You push open the box and beams of light shoot out. Where is all this light coming from? You peer in and suddenly you see something so strange, so out of place for an old box like this. Rugged, ragged, abandoned, done. You can't believe what this box holds. It's too wonderful for words. Your eyes well with tears and you cup your mouth in amazement. This is it. This is what you've been searching for. Others said it didn't exist, but you thought differently. Others scoffed at the prospect, but you believed. You had hope. You had no choice. You couldn't go on the same way. And now you're here, huddled around this box, with a treasure inside. You reach in and grab hold of your great object. Your fingers are quaking. From this moment on, from this brightened moment on, everything changes. Later you would say it was better than you imagined. What's inside the box? What causes your heart to drum and your fingers to sweat? What was at once so elusive, but now in full possession? What causes everything to change? Why? It's the prayer life you only dreamed of. Now you might think I'm making too much of this. You want something else to be inside the box. The deed to a mansion, a pile of gold, a Ferrari. You want something other than prayer. You want something more extravagant or sexy or dangerous, something more useful, more fun. You want something that you would actually long for, not the treasure of youth group groupies or old church ladies. You want something for you, not something forced, not something fake, something real. Well, let me ask you, who's watching this video on prayer? You are, so you care about prayer. I'm not being dramatic or fantastical. I'm not being religious by suggesting that prayer is the treasure inside the box. Prayer is our great pursuit. Prayer is our great prize. Prayer is our connection with our great God. We just don't know how great prayer can really be. But prayer is meant to be better than we can imagine. This is because God is better than we imagine. Ephesians 3:20 says God is able to do immeasurably more than we can ask or imagine. There is no way for us, who were created, to understand all of God who is not created. There is no way for us, who were not around when God formed the mountains and painted the stars, to comprehend all of God, No, trying to understand all of God is like trying to get my toddler to do quantum physics. It's just not going to happen. No, the most I can hope for is for him to hold the crayon right. That's the real accomplishment. So then, why shouldn't prayer be better than we imagine? If prayer is communing with God, shouldn't prayer surprise us, astound us, confound us? Because that's what God does for us? I mean, shouldn't prayer be better than we imagine? I've said this before, but I'm going to say it again. Our expectations for prayer are far too low. Perhaps this is because our expectations for God are far too low. We think we figured him out, seen all there is to see, pulled back the curtains. We think he's run out of tricks, said all he wants to say, shown us all of his muscles. But let me tell you, God is far better than you can imagine. And because of this, prayer is far better than we can imagine. We just need a key to unlock it. We just need to find our prayer fit.